Airbnb is not made for hosts. Airbnb is made for guests. They make money by giving guests. Again, they want you to be cheap pricely. They want you to screen less. They want you to just let people in your home. But remember, this is your business, so you get to run the rules. You have to respect the platform respectfully. But Airbnb, in my time as a host, as I've seen them transition, has really catered to the guest experience rather than the host. And this is making it even more clear that Airbnb believes that there's plenty of hosts out there, and so they're not worried about you. They're more worried about the guests, and that's why they're taking off these fees to cater to the guest experience.
Who's this? Oh, you're an entrepreneur? Oh, you're a real estate investor? Oh, you're trying to learn from those who did it? Well, come into the lab then. Put your white coat on, gloves on, notepad, and let's build, y'all.
Experimentation, your host in the lab with yours truly, Ruben Kanya. Hope this finds you well. I wanted to come in with some breaking news to give you an update and what it means for you as an operator in the hospitality space. So currently I'm recording in the lab here. If you're looking at a video, you'll see there's a new addition. I wanted to highlight the great work here. We were recently featured in the Home magazine, which is one of the top design and renovation magazines. This is based on our vacation rental that does operate on Airbnb. So it is telling. And so a new addition to the lab. We want to celebrate milestones as we always do. So there's a renovation. We had leveraged some private money and did a refinance. Refinance didn't go as well as we wanted to, which I'll go into maybe in some other episode. But however, we're still able to increase the property value by 6 figures, and we'll look forward to tap into that very soon. Nonetheless, the design looks great. We've been able to increase our booking rates again in the vacation rental market, which is why this conversation is fitting here. So for those of us who are midterm rentals, temporary housing, even Airbnb for short-term rental stays, there is a new announcement that they've made that I want to highlight and what it means for you, right? So typically on Airbnb, there was what we would call a few things have changed, right? Now, when you go on Airbnb, the guest only sees one fee. So when you think of cleaning fees, management fees, hosting fees, etc., they only see one fee. So that was one of the first changes they implemented. And now one of the changes they're implementing now is while before there was a split fee model where hosts were paying 3% of the entire booking, and then the guests were around possibly if my mind serves me right, it was around like 14% or so. I don't remember the exact fee structure, but in short, for you, the host, because this is why I'm recording you, the host, is that 3% fee is now increasing. It's 5xing to 15.5% if you are using a property management software system, which is interesting because I always wondered why they felt some type of way if we're using a PMS software. And my guess is, this is an assumption, that if you're using a property management software system, you're doing it as a business, and therefore if you're going to be a business operator making money on the platform, then they're going to tax you for doing that. And you're going to make I don't want to penalize you, but if you're running Airbnb like a business and you're making a lot of money, they're going to want to get their hands in, and that's why you would be using a property management software system. If you're kind of when I say this, I mean it respectfully, kind of like amateur slash kind of doing this on the side. We'll list our property when it's available. We're not listed on multiple property management or multiple platforms. And sorry, I should take a step back. A property management software like a Guesty or an OwnerRez or whatever tool it is that you're using, there's multiple out there. It's meant to assure that when you book on Airbnb, if you're also on other platforms, it would block out the calendar for those other platforms, which means you're trying to maximize. You're not solely married to Airbnb, right? Airbnb is a jealous platform, clearly, just like everyone else, but they rake in the most business. But if you're going to be using a property management software, it's probably because you're not just loyal to the Airbnb platform. You want to be listed on VRBO. You want to be on Expedia, as you should be, right? But they see that as, okay, it means you're not just loyal to us. It means you're probably a business. It means you're probably on a different tier, and therefore we're now going to tax you, right? You're now going to have to pay more to play. Now, what's, what this means for you is, if you have a property management software, when this happens, I'm seeing 2 dates here. So I'm actually trying to make up which one is which, because on the website, on Airbnb's website, and what I'll do is actually I'll share my screen. So if you're currently watching this, you can also see it as well. So let me do share screen and go to this monitor here, so you'll be able to see it. And if you're driving, if you're listening, this is the link, right? Airbnb.com help article 1857. It says here, to help Airbnb run smoothly and to cover the cost of services like 24/7 customer support, which in my opinion sucks. But there are 2 different fee structures for stays: a split fee and a single fee. At the end of the day, they're for profit company that they want to make revenue. So the fee structure is the most common in this split between the host and the guest. Most hosts pay a 3% service fee, but some pay more, including some hosts with listings in Italy and Brazil. Hosts with listings in Brazil pay a 4% fee. The fee is automatically deducted from the total price, and any fees charged by the host, but exclude the guest service fee. Okay. So now this is what you need to be paying attention to. The split fee pricing structure will no longer be available to hosts who use property management softwares to manage their listing, effective as follows. That's August 25th, 2025. New hosts who use property management software that sign up with Airbnb can only select the single fee structure. That'll be that 15.5%. And October 27th, most hosts who use property management software will automatically transition to single fee structure. So for those, this is ones who are kind of being been hosting, it transition October 27th, 2025. If you're listening to this, depending on when you're listening to this, and August 25th for those who are just basically launching. Hosts who don't use property management softwares are not affected and can continue to use the split fee pricing structure. Experiment Nation, you've heard me talk about how multiple investors across the nation are landing these lucrative midterm rental insurance contracts by making these small tweaks on the branding and marketing side, especially if you're an existing short-term rental operator. There is a quick and easy shift that you can make with the ride guide in place. And because we've launched a 2-day boot camp that not everyone could attend in real time, I've put together a recording where you can get all the materials and all the guides to focus on rebranding either your short-term rental business or your current midterm rental business, so that you can actually have the insurance companies reach out to you. And then day 2 is, if you want to actually play offense, how you can reach out to them by listing on the right platforms, etc. If you're looking to get this MTR bootcamp so that you can start optimizing and you can start receiving these lucrative contracts that, again, provide less headaches, less turnovers, unlike the Airbnb space, you can start receiving inquiries today by having the right guide in place. So please go to experimentrealestate.com/MTR bootcamp or click the link in the bio to make sure you get your hands on the midterm rental insurance bootcamp to fast track your way into landing these lucrative insurance contracts the exact same ways multiple investors have taken advantage of this unknown and untapped niche within the midterm rental umbrella. So again, this is article, we can link it in the or you can just Google it. I think it'll be best, so you have the latest and greatest. But the guest service fee can be found in price breakdown. And essentially what this means, I think what we should highlight is, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a second here. Let's see, where do I go? Stop screen. I think what's important to understand for you is there's a few things right now. If you have the ability in your property management software system to now increase your price by, I think they're advising, Price Labs had a pretty good article that I'll pull up here that was pretty informative, um, but also misleading in a way, because on one hand, it sounded like they were telling you to leverage price labs, and then on the other hand, it says to actually go to your property management software system to increase the rate to 15.5 just for that platform. Because remember, if you do it in price labs, it'll go across all platforms, and then you'll be completely priced out, or like significantly higher priced out for the other platforms, which you want to make sure this is an Airbnb only change. So it's funny that they wait till the end to say that, because at first when I was reading it, I was like, oh, what to do? So, yeah, because they're giving you like a formula, but I think what you really want to do is update your PMS markup, right? This is the action you want to take. That's why I'm highlighting it here for Airbnb to 18.3 instead of 3%, right? This reflects the new 15.5 host only fee and ensures Airbnb prices are grossed up correctly without changing your base rates in price labs. So I think that's important to think about it that way. If you go directly to price labs, you might then be 15% higher on other platforms, which puts you at a disadvantage, right? So I think just keeping that in mind is important. With that said, what this means for you, there's a few things, right? And, come depending on your dates, August 25th or October. What is it? October 27th? Is that what I said? Yeah, based on those dates, October 27th, 2025. Whether you're an old or a current host who has a PMS, you'll transition. If you're a new by August 25th, new host, you'll have the single fee structure that has gone from 3 to 15.5%, which is a 5x multiple. Essentially, this really comes down to one thing. Airbnb is not made for hosts. Airbnb is made for guests. They make money by giving guests, again, they want you to be cheap pricely. They want you to screen less. They want you to just let people in your home. But remember, this is your business. So you get to run the rules. You have to respect the platform respectfully. But Airbnb, in my time as a host, as I've seen them transition, has really catered to the guest experience rather than the host. And this is making it even more clear that Airbnb believes that there's plenty of hosts out there, and so they're not worried about you. They're more worried about the guests, and that's why they're taking off these fees to cater to the guest experience. What this means for you, you need to adjust accordingly with respect to that platform, and also not be so reliant and dependent on Airbnb. If you ask me, if you're in our vacation rental market, of course, we'll depend on it. It's one of the, you cannot deny it. It's the biggest platform that has the largest amount of traffic per month. I think it might be like 300 million visitors, if not more. I think it's actually more. I have to check. I had it on the deck before, but uh, they get they blow VRBO everyone out of the water when it comes to traffic. When people say, I'm going to stay somewhere, they coin the term, I'm going to Airbnb, just like Uber coined the term for ride shares, right? So there is no denying that they're a behemoth and a dominant force in the short-term rental, vacation rental markets for sure. Uh, but it's important that we also understand how to leverage them as well. And if you're in the temporary housing space, leverage them as well. Companies are hanging out there, relocation agencies are there. And for me, my biggest tip that I can give you in the temporary housing space is to always be available on that platform. Always show availability. I don't do instant bookings, even if I get penalized for it, because that's what they want for their platform. They want guests to just be able to freely book your place. I put guardrails in my business, but this just goes to show you, leverage Airbnb as an avenue, but don't solely depend on it, especially if you're in the temporary housing space. Leverage all other platforms, databases, Zillow, VRBO, leverage all those. Furnished Finder. We had the CEO of Furnished Finder on our platform not too long ago, a couple episodes back. Leverage those guys, leverage the experts, leverage many platforms, and most importantly, foster relationship. Use Airbnb as a way to gauge relationships. There's ways that you can strategically kind of brand your company so that it's very easy for someone who's interested in booking with you, possibly even directly, can do it at their own will. You want to respect the platform by not having any specific call to actions to do so, but by making it super obvious, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that here's how you can reach us. And there's very creative ways to do that. I teach that in my masterminds. And I really, I'm going to be going to speak to an audience of short-term rental operators in Nashville next week. And I'm going to echo the same sentiments, right? That, you know, it's not or Airbnb, it's and Airbnb. So it's Airbnb and what are the other platforms? What are the other ways? Especially in the temporary housing, midterm rental housing, you leverage it to a T. You leverage it to get leads. You leverage it to uh, get people to stay with you. Once you have a guest that you have their contact information, etc., and they want to extend, you use it as an opportunity to, hey, you're staying in my home now. It's branded everywhere. How you can reach out to us. And by the way, you have the available information to be reached out to, when someone stays in your home. So just like Airbnb is leveraging you, make sure you leverage Airbnb as well in your opportunity and understand how the platform continues to navigate so you can better position yourself. This isn't war. I know people like, and again, don't let marketers fool you that, hey, this is what you need to get off Airbnb. Absolutely not. Leverage Airbnb. Do not get off Airbnb. Airbnb should be a partner in your business, as much as frustrating that it can be, understanding that they have the guest's best interests multiple times. And I say this from being someone who's had their a listing frozen, banned, for whatever reason, and then we had to review it and you appeal it, and bad reviews that make no sense and retaliation. There's a lot of frustrations on the other side. At the end of the day, you have to understand it's a huge platform. There's going to be some bad apples there. There's only so many guardrails they can put into place. But at the end of the day, as a business owner, do not make the mistake to think that Airbnb has your back. It has the back of the guest and no one else. So with that said, they built their foundation on our backs. It's important that you understand what's in it for you, and what's in it for them, and understand that the two can be don't have to be mutually exclusive. They can be both true, and you can leverage Airbnb just like Airbnb can leverage you. Just make sure you're getting the best ROI on your time on that platform. Put some guardrails there and continue to leverage it the way it's leveraging you. Happy hosting. And for those who are interested in getting mastery and understanding the midterm rental game, depending on your level, where you're at, if you're a beginning investor, or you're just getting into the space and you heard about midterm rentals, or you really want to add the midterm rental B2B strategy to your current strategy and things are going well on your Airbnb, but you just would rather have being able to have your cake and eat it too, make sure you go to experimentrealestate.com/connect. That way you'll be able to see the different resources have available for you. Again, with respect to where you are, some people are in different phases, so there's no cookie cutter, but there's tons of free resources, some paid resources. And if you do want to join the mastermind and work exclusively with me and other operators, seasoned operators nationwide, then you will also have the opportunity to do that. Stay blessed by the best. Continue to stay aware. Make sure that you're leveraging Airbnb the way Airbnb is leveraging you. Happy hosting.
Experimentation. I believe there are two critical components that will help you achieve your goals very quickly and succeed. Number one, it's information like this that you received on a show, in an episode, and content that you can find on my YouTube channel or anybody's channel. And then there's a community. And the way we've been able to expedite our process, the way people in our community, who are people that we consult, mastermind members, whoever, they get the information on an episode like this, but then they also have a support, whether it's me guiding them or being guided through a community. There is an opportunity for you listening to be able to expedite your process or even expedite your results that you're seeking by being part of the community. If that is what you're interested in, we at Experiment Nation happen to have a community devoted to helping maximize your occupancy and your profitability altogether, regardless of which market that you are in. And for that reason, you have an opportunity where you can go to experimentrealestate.com/submit if you're looking to work in an environment that can help you prosper faster. Call out any areas that you might not be familiar in, especially the blind spots. That's where a guide comes in hand, and I would be a pleasure and honor to be your guide. But in order to make sure you're a good fit, make sure you go to experimentrealestate.com/submit so that my team can go ahead and take it and see if you're a good fit to join the mastermind and the multiple programs that we have. In addition to that, I'm also now a YouTube partner, which means that I want to give you more access to information, more access to Q&As, more access to the questions that actually come out of our mastermind to help people expedite the process. We've seen people get anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000 to $6,000 to even $7,000 a month net on just one door by applying the strategies that we use by working with corporations and furnished accommodation in a very strategic way. So if you're interested, make sure you also subscribe, because I'm going to have different tiers that's on YouTube now that we've become YouTube partner to continue to be the bridge to your success in your lab. And your lab means your life, your goals, or wherever you're trying to head. So make sure you also hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/real estate experiment. We'll be there. You can also look us up at Midterm Rental Insurance Experiment. We will be there. Make sure you hit the subscribe, because that's when you'll know the tiers that are available to you that make sense for you, your marketplace, for your results. Remember, you're only one experiment away. Let's build.